So I am just on the BJJ Fanatics website, and what's amazing is now we've already talked about gravity is your friend, but there are 2 other instructionals that you might want to talk about.
Recently, I had the opportunity to work with BJJ Fanatics guy, and now we have 3 instructionals out there. We have escapes engineered for guys over 40. If you're 40 or more, hey, dig into it. Gravity is your friend. Sit-up sweeps. Been there for some time, and is really, really getting a lot of attention. And then we have the smash the knee folding pass. Now, that's one of my favorites. So if you haven't looked at them, take a look. BJJfanatics.com.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we're live.
Yes, here we go. Okay, then.
As always, we can count on the full entertainment.
Should have an idea where we're going with these before we start talking.
Yeah, well.
I mean, we know the topic, but it's like
the element of surprise, you know? It's almost like Jiu Jitsu.
Almost.
Yeah. So
except I'm here.
Hey, finally, we're getting to some tangible truth.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day, and it was like my wrist got destroyed, so I was like, I'll take a couple of days off. And then the family had the COVID. So I was like being extra cautious. I, don't want to come here and get anybody sick. But then I got sick anyway, not with COVID. So it's been like this, it's when it rains, it pours. Right? Is that what they say?
I don't know, but it's been like 4 weeks.
It's been 3. It has honestly been 3. The week when they were sick, the week when I was sick.
This is week number 4.
And then last week you were sick.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, hey, we're running a tight ship here. If you're out sick and then something happens to me, I don't know who's coming to open the
All
doors.
I'm hearing is excuses. Paul Sharp.
Yeah. What about him?
What a great what a great conversation.
Yeah. Well, yes. It was a great conversation.
He talked about craving challenges. You want a challenge. You had challenge. Suck it up. Get it done.
Yeah, and I think where this came. So this is a guy that teaches his competition team, and he teaches the regular fundamentals classes. And he was talking about we were talking about like a balance. How do you find? I asked him, how do you find the balance in that in that old school pushing. He's an ex-wrestler, like that mentality of really pushing people and being hard on them and forcing them to go further than they think they can. And then you have the people that are there twice a week. Where do you find the balance in pushing those people? Because if you push them the same way that you push your competition team, they're not coming back. Probably not, right? They're going to get hurt. They're going to get, they're not going to be able to get up for work in the morning. And that's not even what they're in it for. They're not in it for that same challenge that the competition team is in it for. And how do you find that balance? And I think what it boiled down to is getting them in the mindset to crave the challenge. And it's a different challenge for different people, but find it and then want to be in it, want to have the desire to overcome it and then pick another one. And keep moving. You talked about an older student yesterday who had the goal of, he doesn't do a lot of sparring. You gave him the goal of 3 rounds, no breaks, go 3. And he said he needed a new goal. He just went 5. So, right, there's somebody who's craving that challenge to get better. And he was beat. He was worn out. But he's got a new goal, right? Mm-hmm. Or just, maybe it's within those 3 rounds to get better. Who knows? Whatever it is, he's looking for something new because he met the challenge that he had.
Yeah. No, you nail it. You really, I think when we look at even life, not necessarily jiu-jitsu, but off the mat, life itself, we can probably categorize our goals into physical and mental. And perhaps there are a few other categories, but I think those are the more common ones, right? And physical would be things like perhaps losing weight or getting in shape, or having that adrenaline rush and so on. But I think there is this often underestimated part of a mental stimulation where we do want to be challenged, and that's, I think, very visible at work with our professions. Like, think about it. The moment you want to change the job is not because, oftentimes it's not necessarily because your job is paying you less or not enough. It's because you are bored out of your freaking mind. Because there's plenty of people, and I know them personally, who, they are underpaid, but they are willing to stay because their job is challenging. They love what they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, I think in jiu-jitsu is very similar. The moment we get bored, this is when we quit. This is when we stop showing up, when we are not being challenged, right? When we don't have the goal to chase.
Yeah, I think there's a side of it.
Yeah. Like, sure. It's like when and people refer to it as plateau. Like, you hear this all the time. I hit a plateau. I'm not making progression. BS. Okay, first of all, there's no such thing as a plateau, in my opinion. But you're always making a progression. You're always making a progression. It could be small progression, but you're always making. What you might not be doing is you might not be challenged. You might be pushing forward. Okay. From your face, I see you're going to disagree. This is going to be one of those conversations. But
no.
But I think, are you being challenged? That's the big that's the big question. Okay, and if you're not, it's time to set new goals. Yeah, it's time to readjust. It's time to reevaluate your situation, whatever that means.
Yeah, and I think that plateau that they refer to a lot of times it's not because you've reached this point where you're better than everyone else, or it's not realizing that, that the plateau you're in, you're not identifying the things that are in front of you that are going to get you to a better spot. You're not, the grind, the suck, all that stuff. If you identify those things and you see challenges within them, rather than looking at them as like you just ran into a brick wall, then you can start, finding those small incremental advancements where you're really not in a rut, or you're not in a plateau. You're in a plateau because you're getting, you're the nail every night. You're getting, manhandled, you're getting dominated, you're getting smashed. I'm in a plateau. Well, okay, come back tomorrow and have a little bit less of that happening, and you're moving forward. You're climbing up that ladder. You're climbing up that mountain. I always think that people in jiu-jitsu look at almost like the submission, where it's like you have this submission that you have to get to. You have this end game. You have this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
This is what our life is.
Right.
That's the reality of today's society. Everybody has to achieve a goal. Everybody has to cross a finish line. Everybody needs to get the trophy. Everybody needs to get this promotion. Like, there's always end results to everything. And this is not how jiu-jitsu works.
Right.
This is why jiu-jitsu is so challenging. This is why jiu-jitsu is so addicting in a way. Because you're always chasing something new constantly, right?
Yeah, but don't. Go ahead.
The point is that you need to be in this growing mindset. We talked about this, recently, right? It's never be satisfied with what you have. Always be hungry for something new. If you achieve your goal, find a new one. Have 2, 3 goals. Always chase things. Always figure out new things to learn. Don't ever be in a position of being fully satisfied and just sitting back. Oh, I got this. Now I'm good. You're not good.
Yeah,
and you just got your goal. That's all it is.
And I'm looking at it from the flip side of, I suck. I'm not good. I'll never be good because this is the 5th class in a row where I didn't do anything right and I got smashed. Okay. So now make that 6th class a little less worse than those first 5.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that.
Well, there's 2 ways.
The mentality of I suck, this sucks, all that. Get it out of your head. Yeah. Just Just
you know what? Embrace. I hate that term because it's so
embrace the
overused.
grind.
Yeah, embrace that suck.
But see,
and I think in my mind, there's two ways of looking at it. And the way I always look at it for me personally is get a little bit better. Even if you aren't on top, even if you aren't submitting, even if you aren't the hammer, if you're a little less the nail, but you're still getting pounded, but it's harder for them to do it, then you are achieving something. Then you are not on a plateau. Then you are progressing. Because if you keep that and you realize, and then you reflect, why was I a little bit better today or not so shitty today? Then you're climbing again. Then you're moving forward again. Then you're not in a plateau. You're not in a rut. You're making advancements. It goes back to that 1% better today than you were yesterday.
Funny you say this because I think yesterday or the day before, Silver Fox Carl posted on Instagram, and I loved it. I commented on it, but he said, make a goal of making 1% improvement every day. In 1 year, you're going to be 356% better. Okay, it's just, as stupid as it is, and obviously the math doesn't add up in exactly that way, but the point is, a little step, and in 1 year, you could be significantly better. You could make significant improvements. This is what I mean by chasing the challenge, chase the goal. Don't hyper-focus how much it sucks.
Right.
Go back in there and freaking chase it, because nobody's going to do it for you.
Right. And no matter how bad it sucks, and I'm talking about it in the academy, on the mats, no matter how bad it sucks, you always, Paul said it, you've got that universal out, which is the tap. So even if it sucks and it's awful, it's going to end. And it's not going to end in a horrible situation. It's going to end with the person getting off of you or letting go, and you get to start over. You get to start over every time. So when you have that 5th class in a row that sucked, the 6th one is a new starting point. After you tap and the bell rings, there's a new starting point. There's always a way to, like a refresher almost, no matter how awful it is. That guy that couldn't go 3 rounds just went 5, right? So there's always, after that universal tap, or that, the tap, that double tap, you always get to start anew, right? And you can, that's what I look for. That's what I want people to look for, is that, that you can climb out of this, right? I don't want people to look for, I'm going to get on top, I'm going to submit this guy, when they're white and blue belts. I don't look for that either, because I think that sometimes that's unrealistic. You're in a room with a bunch of dudes that are younger than you, a bunch of dudes that are better than you, a bunch of guys that have more experience than you. Don't look for that. Look for that little bit of, you got me, but you didn't get me as easy as you got me last time. And that's what I throw out there. I throw that out there for kids. I throw that out there for beginners. I throw it out there for older guys, and I think if you have that mentality too, when you're a high level purple belt, it's going to carry you through. I just think you're going to keep getting better, and you're going to keep enjoying the journey. Don't, that goal of tapping somebody out, that goal of cashing that check, of that goal of getting that promotion, those are all wonderful. But how do you get there, right? And it's by taking those little tiny steps.
One step at a time. True story from recent times. 2 guys are sitting on a mat.
Sounds like a
joke. No, it's a true story, actually. 2 guys are sitting on a mat during open training. They're sitting in a corner or whatever, right next to each other, like 3 feet away from each other, okay? And they're just looking in the middle of the mat, right? And I come up to them and it's like, you guys tired? No. Okay. You drinking water? No. What are you guys talking about? Nothing. So why are you not training?
Yeah.
Oh, we're taking a break. Wait a minute. You are not tired. You're not drinking water. No, you're talking about Jiu Jitsu. Why are you taking a break? Oh. And they got up and they went train. But my point is, we get sucked into these vortex of quote unquote take a break. It's hard. I need a pause.
Mhm.
Get out of it. Get out of that mindset. Go and train. You know, like it's get hungry. Get hungry. Get hungry.
Talk about food now.
Tacos.
Do you want to hear something insane? Never thought I'd say this.
Okay.
I'm kind of sick of tacos. I'm kind
Okay,
of sick
we
of
just ended this
tacos.
episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
This show got canceled.
Well, what's nice about podcasts is they can't be canceled. Otherwise, this would have a long time ago due to poor ratings. But, just maybe I need a new taco.
Maybe.
I need to try a different
Which ones
taco.
did you were you trying without dropping names? Like the
Oh,
nearby
like-
here?
Yeah, well, just, tacos in general, al pastor, steak, different types of chicken, shrimp.
Have you had that many tacos in a
recently?
row? Like
It's
recently?
been, it's
Really?
been kind of a cavalcade of tacos.
Saturation.
Oversaturation.
Yeah.
We're talking about cravings. So
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm starting to add things together.
Yeah.
So you eat nothing but tacos. You don't train.
Okay. What else?
You should be craving the challenge.
I should be craving the challenge. I am. You know what? My next. We'll talk about this off the air. But I've got a challenge. I do have a challenge to have come to fruition tomorrow night, and that's to get a certain person on the mat with me. So.
Oh, is that the person I'm thinking about?
It is the person you're thinking of.
That's the person,
Yes.
huh? Okay.
Yes.
The monthly visit?
It's their monthly visit. Yeah. I'm here all the time. It might be my monthly time on the mat, but it's a monthly visit.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Once a month.
There's my challenge.
Once a month. There you go. Bro,
Yeah.
new club.
The once a month club?
Yeah, the once a month club.
Like it. Make it twice a month.
Hey, if you're listening to this, if you're still listening to this, stay hungry. Crave
There
the
you go.
challenge.
Crave the challenge.
Go train. Bye.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.